Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I have a crazy not prediction, but anticipation for what I'm seeing on GJ and what I see happening. And long story short, I have a big strong feeling that GJ is about to sell off tremendously. I have a really strong feeling that GBP JPY is just going to completely sell off, and no one's really thinking about what I'm thinking. I haven't seen a single institutional trader call this out, so I'm gonna be the first one to actually bring this up and possibly catch this major move down. And I don't like selling GJ, but this one might be it. That's all I'm gonna say. This one may be it. So basically, starting off on the monthly time frame, let's take a look at the monthly time frame. GJ has been extremely bullish since the start of 2020 April and up to 2021 June, where we're at right now. We've just seen a immense bull run, a crazy bull run, in fact, just a crazy bull run. Now we saw that as soon as GJ came to about this area right here, I want to mark my level right here. As soon as GJ came about to this high, we saw that the market created a nice deep pullback, and we're not really used to these deep pullbacks. Well, in fact, if you do measure this last pullback towards the downside, it was only 400 pips, but this one was over 749 pips. That's a crazy bearish pullback for a bullish market. So obviously there has to be something fishy going on. There has to be something interesting. As now looking towards the left, looking just towards the left, what we can see is that the market created this major move up. We had this major move back down, filling in any little bit of imbalance, institutional candles that needed to get tested, and then market push back up. Now as soon as we push back up, this is the highest swing high. As soon as we push up, one thing I noticed is that at this swing high we have a clean institutional candle right over here. Now let me actually get my proper tool, mark this up a little bit nicer, clean that up, and then make this gray. So we can see that we have this nice bearish institutional candle. You could refine it up to here, take the wick, and you can see that that's why the market's selling off right now. There has to be a cause and the effect. The cause of this major move down was this institutional candle towards the left, and the effect of this institutional candle towards the left was that the market sold off intensely. Now looking at the monthly chart, I'm going to do a deep analysis on the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, starting from this point right here, we saw that GJ made a bullish rally towards the upside. Now this bullish rally was interesting because it didn't actually end up breaking any monthly highs or lows. Instead, it came back up just to retest this last institutional bullish candle in order to come back down. Now what's interesting is that we did see this last bullish candle before that move down, indicating that smart money still has leftover buy positions that it need to mitigate. Hence, that's why price made this major move up. But it didn't break any structure. It didn't continue with this move. It didn't do that. Instead, it reacted off of it, maybe took out some liquidity that was resting inside of here, and as soon as we did grab that liquidity, the market ends up going back down. Now when we did go back down, you have to understand that the new institutional candle would be this low right here. So price basically comes back down and breaks below it. Why did it do that? Well, it's because smart money has interest in taking price towards the upside. That's why the market created this major move down, sweeping liquidity of anyone who was holding long-term buy positions from here, and in fact went and broke below it. And then as soon as we broke below it, we saw a major move back up towards this high right here. Now the last time something like this happened, what happened? We just went over this. Price came into this IC, swept liquidity, and then went up. Well, what are we expecting now? Well, I'm expecting something insane to happen. There's two possibilities just looking at the monthly time frame. Either GJ can go back up to take out liquidity of this high and then sell off crazily, and I don't have any predictions or anticipations of where GJ is gonna go or where it may go. Maybe it could come up to like this IC right here. Honestly, there's no way to really 110% tell where GJ is going to go, but this is a strong possibility that GJ might come into this IC and then just sell off, because think about how much imbalance we left here. Think about how much institutional candles that are left that price has to come back down to mitigate. There's so much reasons for why GJ has to go down, but we cannot only sell just off of our eyes. We can't just sell because we think it's going to go down because there's an IC towards the left. Obviously not. We need to have valid reasoning. Well, let's look at structure on the monthly time frame. Structure on the monthly time frame. Well, let's take a look at it. we see this major move towards the upside. Now, throughout this major move towards the upside, we did see these major, consolidations. Right here, we have 1, we have 2, and then we have 3. We have 3 major consolidations. Now, what these consolidations indicate is reaccumulation. So we all know that in the market, whenever the price is going towards the upside, it's going to come from the downside and then consolidate for a little bit, and then it's going to reverse and make a way towards the upside. This is accumulation. Now, the reaccumulation is going to be when price is already trending up, but it decides to consolidate again. And after we see a consolidation in a uptrend at the top, most likely you'd be expecting a major move down. But instead, what ends up happening is the market continues bullish. It consolidates, but it continues bullish. Now, this means that this in itself was our accumulation, and this was a reaccumulation. Now, the word reaccumulation is so self-explanatory. It's accumulating once again, even because it wants to go up. It has more interest in taking price up. I'm not sure why I stopped right there. I was thinking about the right word, but that's basically what happened. And as soon as the market does find where it wants to reverse, it's going to distribute and go back down. So looking at this price action right over here, let's take a look. We can see that we have a ton of reaccumulation. We have one right here, a second one right here, and then a third one right here. We have 3 reaccumulations that price has to come back down to, because we all know that LPSY always gets tested. It's one of those things that has to happen. The LPSY must get tested. So what we are anticipating is a major move down to fill in any little bit of liquidity over here that is being followed by the retailers, right? We can see that there's this bull flag that is being followed by retailers that are buying the high or selling the high and buying the low. And surprisingly, it's working so far. And the fact that the market is actually rejecting at this trend line does indicate that the market may be influencing retailers to buy price into sell to go back down. Think about what I just said there. Retailers are getting influenced to buy price into a major sell, so when the market does sell off, no one gets caught on the right side except for the people at TrackFX. No, but basically this is all off the monthly chart. Just let that sink in. All this liquidity was generated. This move down, this wick below, was an indication that the market did want to go higher, and now we know why price wanted to go higher. Price wanted to go higher because it wanted to mitigate this institutional candle. That is why the GBP was going bullish. Now that the market is overall did already, accomplish its task, it's finished its mission, it mitigated this IC. What's next? Well, let's take a look at structure. On the monthly time frame, we saw that the market created this high, higher low, higher high. Now, as soon as we do see that this is the monthly time frame, keep in mind this is just the monthly time frame. From this high, higher low, higher high, we did see that the price wicked right below it. Now, this could mean two things. This could either be price taking liquidity out of any long-term holders that were buying from this low right here, or this could be an indication that GBP JPY did indeed break structure of a previous higher low, and now the market is overall getting ready to go back down into the bearish market. Because think about how much imbalance we left off. This is like a tick to the smart money traders, to institutions and hedge funds. This imbalance needs to get taken out. There's no way in hell it's just going to be left here. Look at everything else that happened. When we do see this major move down, the imbalance got filled. And then the market went back down. Now, obviously, this imbalance needs to get filled. That doesn't mean that we're going to be going bearish all the way back down. It just means that the little bit of imbalance that we do have left over here, right, up to here, it needs to get mitigated in order to go higher. And that's a big anticipation that we are expecting. So going back to the topic, we did see this monthly higher low. It did get broken. That's a major thing for me. This monthly higher low got broken with this wick right here. Now, we are looking at my GJ, but it may not be the smartest decision anymore, because after we did see that break of structure, this means that this entire major move, 750 pip move down, was aka being backed up by smart money. This move down over here was being backed up by smart money. This move wasn't. How can we know the difference? Well, it's simple. Look at how small this move was, and then look how big this move up. If smart money was deciding to continue price bullish, it wouldn't be making big pullbacks like this, because they don't have time to make price consolidate for that long just to make that big move. They know retailers and us, we're not that smart. So the fact that we did make this major move down indicates that price is overall now getting ready to go down towards the downside. So let's go down to the, sorry, that was the weekly, not the monthly. Facts, my bad. But yeah, Let's actually go down to the daily time frame now, and let's take a look at what the daily time frame is saying. So let me delete this now. We're looking to buy right here, and we did see that institutional candle, and it got broken. It got broken, and there's no, like, you know, I don't have an excuse. I don't have, you know, nothing to say. It just got broken, and that's the most I can say. Now, we did see that price came into this IC, but even this one got taken out. If we really zoom in at this IC, you will see that this IC did get wicked right here. We went below it, indicating that there is a break of structure. So now we're supposed to look at, where are we going to sell GJ? That's a real question. How are we going to sell GJ? Well, let's actually look at the move, or let's look at price action. Let's see what happened after the market tapped into our monthly or weekly institutional candle and then sold off. So looking at the weekly looking at the weekly zone, the institutional candle, all we can see is that the market gave us a distribution right here, and then that distribution formed and price action came back to retest this institutional candle right here. We saw that smart money came into this, you know, institutional candle, and we saw this little bit of distribution. Those highs got taken out, obviously, and then the market redistributed once again, pushed down, breaking structure, and then price tapped back into that institutional candle. Now, we actually did catch the sell. I'm not sure if anyone remembers, but we did catch the sell a long time ago, but we only held it up to here. So after this IC did get tapped into, we created another new institutional candle, and that is this one that I'm highlighting right over here. Now, this one is unmitigated. That's number one. It's untested, and we have a ton of liquidity of the sellers and the buyers, because remember, there is a weekly and daily trend line that is being followed. So we need to take out and break out of this trend line, obviously. So I'm anticipating GJ to come back up into this IC. Now, obviously, this is obviously way far-fetched. Maybe GJ might not come back up to here, so we obviously need to look at different levels. So I'm going to go down to my lovely 12-hour time frame, and let's just take a look at where we're going to be focusing on. So let me take my Fibonacci out first of all, and let's mark up our discounted and premium levels. So discounted levels, obviously anything below 50% for buy side is discounted. For sell side, anything above 50% is premium. We're looking to enter on the 70, 78, or the 88. Now, we all have our first zone in the 78 percentile zone. On this one is in the 50, so I wouldn't take it, obviously. Now, there's nothing clean. I don't see anything clean, so I'm going to go make my way down to the 8-hour time frame. And I'm not seeing anything too crazy, nothing too interesting in my opinion. You know, this one was actually untested, so we can say that this institutional candle is also a valid area for us to take a sell at. So let me actually delete this now. Let's delete this you know, major weekly zone, and let's mark up our current zones that we're focusing to take that sell. Now, going back to the daily time frame, we have our first institutional candle, and on the daily you can refine this up to here, right here. Now, from the daily perspective, this one did get tapped into, so we're going to go down to the 12-hour, and we're going to take the 12-hour one. And the 12-hour one is the exact same, so we'll go down to the 8-hour. All right, we're going down to every single time frame, and we're just trying to refine. Now, on the 8-hour time frame, this one didn't get tapped into, right? Now, but there is another, once again, another institutional candle right here. But before I get into this IC, what I want to show you guys is in this area, we have some Wyckoff actually forming. So let's go right here. Let me remark this up as a Wyckoff distribution, and let's type in Wyckoff. Let's go to Google, type in Wyckoff, and let's take a look at what we're seeing. Obviously, we're looking for a distribution. So distribution starts with the PSY. Let me go down to the smaller time frame, and let me look for that PSY. So let me, boom. So where's the PSY? The PSY is the first pullback, followed by a major move up, followed by a major move down. So let's see if I can find that. Pullback, major move up, major move down. That's how simple it is. Copy and paste. So we found the PSY. And then we need to find the BC, obviously. In the BC, if you found the PSY, you should have already found the BC. Now, this was the BC right here. After the BC, you have your automatic rally, which is a move down. So it's basically after the BC, you're followed by significant sell side pressure. So technically, I could say that this is my automatic rally right here. And then the secondary test, which is just retesting any little bit of supply left in the BC. So let's go up to here, and I'll say that, okay, this is my secondary test, because price wicked back up to retest any little bit of supply inside of the BC. So after that, you're followed by a sign of weakness, and right over here we have that SOW, clean as day. You have that sign of weakness. Now right after that, you have your UTAD, which upper thrust rather, not UTAD, your UT. Now this is a distribution type 2 because this one does not have a UTAD. It only has a UT. So now you can see that this area has Wyckoff confluence, which is insane. It's something crazy to think about. We have Wyckoff inside of our zone, which is, you know, it's an extra added confluence that gives us more reasoning for why price has to come back into this upper thrust and then retest it and then go down. And let's take a look if it was tested. You can see that price came back to test it, but in fact we didn't. We did not come near it. So this 4H institutional candle is extremely strong, and I would myself 100% be looking to sell in this area and this area right here. Now something I don't like sometimes is that this wick right here, this zone itself is pretty big. This is a 39 pip zone. If we went on to the 1 hour, you'll see that there's another institutional candle right here. So you could refine it up to here, but I noticed that sometimes if you refine it up to there, you'll more or less miss the move. So what I would do is I just refine it to the second last down candle to make it a decent zone, not too small, which is 23 pips, and that way you won't really miss the move. And if you do in fact miss the move, well, you should have just taken the higher time frame IC, but whatever, you know, shit like that happens all the time. Now from a 12-hour perspective, can we refine this institutional candle? Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. Now we obviously got this on the daily time frame, I'm pretty sure. All right, it was the daily right here. And yeah, so we're gonna have to refine this. We cannot take a big zone like this. This is too crazy. We cannot risk that much on a trade. So on the 4-hour time frame, what I am seeing is another institutional candle at the high right here. Now we do have some imbalance over here that needs to get filled, so it kind of makes sense for why price needs to come back there. Now let's go down to the 3-hour time frame, and you can actually take this institutional candle instead, because this institutional candle, one, has imbalance. This institutional candle was kind of already tested. This one isn't. So it's clean and clear. We know why that we're selling, or we're looking to sell here and we're looking to sell here. If GJ does decide to break this or these two highs, that will just tell me that our second option is going to play out. That price is going to go up, sweep the highs, tap into this monthly IC, and then we're going to have that major sell off. Let me actually make this blue or something, because my eyes are like burning right now. So there we go. So right here, so there we go, boom, we're gonna mark this up, and boom, there we go. So basically another anticipation would be GJ to come into this monthly institutional candle, and at this monthly high we'd be looking to sell. Now remember, this is a crazy big zone. This is like over 700 pips, I'm assuming. Okay, that's like 500 pips. So obviously we cannot sell that. We cannot sell as soon as price comes here. We're gonna have to wait, obviously. Now we saw that this IC already got tested, but what didn't get tested, this IC right over here, Habibti, this one didn't get tested. You know what I'm saying? This one did not get tested. What does that mean? Well, that means that this is untested and it's stronger. It's more prone to coming into this IC. What else do we see? Liquidity. We see liquidity resting above here that got taken out. What else do we see? Wyckoff distribution. This is getting simple nowadays. Like, it's just getting way too simple. PSY. Now remember, a redistribution is going to happen when the market is selling down, consolidates, and then goes back down. The most important part is just the UT. In my opinion, the most important part of the Wyckoff in the down distribution is the UT and the LPSY. This is the UT that got untested. Obviously we know this because price wicked above this one, wicked above this, and this is our new high. That indicates that this is my UT, this is my LPSY. So really we're waiting for price to come into this daily institutional candle, and we can possibly sell here. But remember, this is more of a long-term thing, and either way this is still a 256 pip zone, and more or less we're gonna have to wait for confirmation, and we might have to refine this a little bit more. So let me see if I can refine this a little bit more, and there we go. That's like at least another 50 pips and some change off. Let's go on to the 8-hour time frame. And on the 8-hour time frame, we aren't seeing much, so we're going to go down straight to the 4-hour time frame, and we're going to try to refine this as much as we can. So now we're talking. We actually refine this a good amount. This is like 170 pips. Now I know you're gonna be like, okay, track effects, that's still a lot. Once again, we're not setting a limit, we're gonna wait for the confirmation. So even though that's hella weird, I'm not sure what just happened. Reset chart. I'm not sure what just happened. Oh man, I'm gonna have to redo my entire analysis now. Alright, it's okay, it's cool, it's whatever, shit happens. But yeah, let me go back to the weekly time frame and let me actually try to refine that IC that we were focusing on. GPJPY, I think we were looking at this chart right here. Yeah, here we go. So let's go back here, let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, it looks like I can't go to the 1 hour, but you guys get the gist. I'm gonna update this analysis and, you know, repost everything. But yeah, so this is basically what we are anticipating. I think I was looking to sell. I'm not even sure at this point, to be honest. I'm kind of lost on this chart. Oh yeah, so one was right here and the second one was right over here. So this is where we're looking to sell at. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This video was extremely long, like 20 minutes, not that bad. I thought it was like an hour. But yeah, anyways, peace out guys, take care. I'm about to go to KO, take a nap. It's 2:50 a.m. Yep, peace out, take care, bye bye.